Well, we're gradually having a little bit more work done on I still call it our 5-year resort project. I put all the lights on just so that we can see. Every so often we have to give ourselves a little encouragement and look at what we've done. So we put the lights on, let there be light. And so we've been having some done on the interior. We are about to, these are the materials for having the kitchen done here. There's it's a working kitchen, basin and worktop surface, a little storage. There's not much that's needed because this is just for guests to be able to make a snack. But along here, along this part here, look, we want to have a breakfast bar type of thing with stools, which will still make this a hangout place. The purpose of the way that we're doing this, we have seating arrangements out here as well, and perhaps a TV on the wall for those who like that sort of thing. And the idea is to provide a lot of space inside the facility, which is still available to people who are staying. And so there will be, where all of this wood is right now, there'll be a reception area and seating arrangements here. So guests will not be confined to one small room. And anyway, the rooms are big, the bathrooms are big. So just a quick walkthrough, otherwise it begins to be another long video. But as you can see, we really tried to make it so that these are bedroom come sitting rooms, bed sitting rooms. So it has plenty of extra places for kids and so on, and you're not actually crammed in. We need to have a small cabinet built for the refrigerator, which is just a small refrigerator for drinks and stuff like that, so that you can have a cold drink, and some storage space. So staying here will not be some kind of prison-like thing. I know that there are very nice places that you can stay in Talibon. This would make an ideal base if you want to come and see Bohol. So you'd have transport. We're only 6 kilometers from Atafi, which is the port. There's another port at Talibon, and we're 20 kilometers from Talibon. So, as you can see, this is a suite, 2 rooms, 3 queen-size beds, and there will, when we have the money, we'll put another seated corner unit there, which will be for easy sitting. And eventually, of course, before we actually let, we will be putting curtains across here so that if it was a case of some privacy needed, then to be able to draw the curtains and go ahead. So a quick walkthrough. I'll come back and turn all the lights off later. So just a quick look in here. Look, oh, it's locked. I do have the keys, but as soon as we get things to a certain level of finish, we actually go around and lock those doors. Here, quick bum's rush to look. Hadn't intended this, but even this will be a lot more bedding. This is the kind of thing that you would get on the continent, Europe, when you were camping or hitchhiking, that kind of a vacation on a very low budget. You'll be able to come in. This will be mixed. Different people, different countries will be able to come in and mix here. Well, kind of a guest house type of thing, and very cheap. So this is all our stuff that we've been getting very lately. We've been very busy and very lucky. Today we managed to steal this new piece, which was on sale, so we were very lucky there. this gives you an idea that we're almost there. If you think in terms of sitting here and the outlet there for the antenna for the TV is there. I know that people will like that. And then plenty of room for a low cabinet underneath, similar to what we have in our house. And then this will be wardrobe space for hanging clothes. Once again, it's a big bathroom. So if you were staying here and you had children, you wouldn't end up killing each other because you're so cramped in. And outside, we are actually having the work done outside, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And there's a balcony outside, and it's being made safe at the moment. So I'm going to take you out there. Where can I do it? I'll do it through this first bedroom. So back in the first bedroom, this will be a very nice room because of the view. It's windows all around. And two sliding doors giving access out onto this balcony. This balcony is now being made safe. This along here, but then there'll be another railing along here with a gate. So you will be able, if you were here with children and they wanted to go outside, they'd be able to go out here and then still come back without going through the reception. There's just so much space. So this is where we're going now. And obviously we've got lots of prepping to do. We've gone into the actual rebar, which is holding these columns up so that can be welded actually into metal, and then it will be made good a little bit later. So this is the biggest piece here, which we're going to have to buy a little bit more material, but we've still got some, and we salvaged all of this, recycled all of this railing from around the pool at the old house, which is now designated for a different purpose. So here we are. This is what they've been working on today. They've done very, very good. I'm just hoping that the tile is not permanently marked. I would hope that they'd have more sense than that, but I've been wrong before. Here. See, at some point there will be a swimming pool out here, and this will give direct access to that from all of the balconies here. So there we are. That's a quick look. I hope it was quick. Oh gosh, only 8 minutes. I didn't know I was capable of that. We leave this light on during the night. This is what Beth likes for this to go. Each of these lights are under the control of the individual room, but here they are. So there we are looking now, and actually for some reason I guess when the rest of the project is done, which certainly will be far into the end of a 5-year target, I think, all of this out here will all be a big pool, cottages, and then over on, this is the Grand Dream, over on there there'll be chalets on that hill, and they'll have a great view of the coast, which is that thin line across there. Yes, I know it, you can't dive in from here, but we're working with what we have. See, so this actually does look very nice from this side, which you will be able to do eventually. All of this light. Of course, any building site, a ton of clean up to do, but as you can see, it actually does look very nice. We're actually standing now For those who haven't been with us in the past, that's the house that you're looking at now. That's the back porch of our house and our bedrooms, and I think that's Beth standing there in the white t-shirt, and somebody visiting. But this was intended to be like a coffee bar. So you'd be out here, going to redesign this. This is a very, very quick designed roof that we put up when we wanted to do a concert, which we did, and which we had a lot of fun at. This all takes a band. This will take a little area where you can make coffee, or you can have coffee made. We'll make this like a small coffee bar, the like of which is very popular in Alturas. Just give you a last look at that. And all along the side there, someone said, "Oh, Terence, you'll have an enormous spill with all of those lights." And it was based on the idea that we were going to leave them on all the time. All of them on all the time, which of course we won't be doing. So back in, nice spacious bedrooms, AC, there is a TV. We actually did go, Beth and I went to and stayed in a very nice resort where there were no TVs, because the owner wanted it to be more like a retreat rather than another just a temporary move sideways from home where the TV is going all the time. But this will be a very nice area too. And this here, thinking maybe in this area, I don't know, we may have a pool table or something like that, some games kind of thing that you can play. Means that you're not just as a guest, you're not just renting a room with enough space to walk sideways around the bed. There's so much more space. All of the rooms are spacious. There are two which are slightly smaller than this, but still very, 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 very comfortable and very spacious, so that you're not crammed in on anyone. There's a bed area and there's a comfortable seating area. So, thanks for looking in. If you are aware of the subjects that we've been dealing with lately, that we have for a number of years now been what one of our subscribers described as being ghost censored, and I shouldn't dwell on that too long in case it gets picked up, but we're not free to talk as we would wish about any subject, and that's a fact. And when everybody was being pinpricked because of a deadly malady that was going around, and a man called Mr. Grouchy, which I'm codenaming, and Uncle Billy B, when they were all doing their scene and we were all strapped down, locked in and unable to work, it pretty well killed our charity. All of our funding was from America, and it pretty well knocked all that on the head. We are just about managing to get help to our students, most of who have graduated, but some of who still need help. So there will be people that will help us on that, I'm sure. We live in hope on that. But our channel has really been under the thumb of the powers that be, and it's very easy for this to happen. And you can read this for yourself, in the last batch of comments, when I touched on this subject, a couple of days ago, someone said that other bloggers are having the same thing, where they've got, as in our case, we have 266,000 subscribers now. In our time on YouTube, we've actually had 144 million views. And during that time, the pinprick time that I just mentioned a moment ago, where I was accused because I was one of those that didn't choose to do that, nor did Beth, nor did our extended family on the mountain, and we're all as healthy as can be. Whereas there have been many people who have died, and at that time, many people unsubscribed from the channel because they said that I was being irresponsible with people's lives, and actually some said that I was probably responsible for people's death. It turns out now that try as I might, even at my most evil moment, I couldn't have given children of 7 years old myocarditis, but then what am I, just a conspiracist? So we've had our challenges, but we have persisted. At one time, just let me tell you a quick story. At one time when I was writing, I have actually, unbeknownst to most, I have 2 or 3 books that are for sale on Amazon under the name Terence Flannery, which is actually, for your interest, my family name back from Old Ireland. Well, anyway, I wondered if there was something that I had a question, and I hit on this channel where they gave out the emails of some very famous people, and among them were 2 or 3 writers. And so I formulated the question and sent it to all of them, and 2 or 3 of them responded. And the question that I had was, I said, these were all famous writers, and I said, given what you know now in your present level of success, is there something that you just say to yourself, why didn't anybody tell me that before I made it, when I was still struggling? What would it be? And several people actually wrote back to me very kindly. And one was a writer from the X-Files. Remember the X-Files? So, he said, easy. The question, easy. Perseverance. You just keep going. You just keep trying. He said, I had other people that were striving at the same time as I was, who were every bit as talented as I was, and they quit. He said, nobody gave me anything. Nobody came up and said, wow, what a good guy you are, and I'd love to help you. He said, no, that didn't help. That didn't happen. Oh, I'm going to lift the window open. Bear with me. He said the way that it happened was that I worked bloody hard and I got my reward. I got the reward that I deserved. I earned my success. He said, and I earned it. There we go. I earned it by working hard. And that stayed with me when we started the channel. And even though we had many, if you are an old timer and you're listening to this now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is something about helping, which is what we were doing. There's something about helping which gets under people's skin, and they don't like it. And apparently, psychologically speaking, I've studied up a little on why this should be. Why should it be when you are trying to do good, which we dedicated ourselves back in those days, 24/7, and we did what we could for those who didn't have a chance? Well, we had to keep going, and we kept going, and we are still here. And I think that we have been online from, I think, 2011. 2011 was when we really started, and we just kept going. And no matter what, even when we were, I'm giving this as possible, you can interpret this as tips passing on from what that man told me, and I'm locking up as we go. And we kept going, and we've kept going ever since. And I remember the other anecdote of a famous person offering this as advice. Sylvester Stallone, he said, many people ask him, he said, I get guys coming up and they're asking me, they're saying, Sly, what's the secret, you know? He said, as if there is some secret that is being kept from them. He said, it's not true. There is no secret. You try and you try and you try and you try again. You get knocked down. You get refused, you get laughed at, you get all of this happen, and you still keep going. And that's the secret. If it can be viewed as a secret, that's the secret. And for us, when we get discouraged, we come out here and we look at this and we say to ourselves, did we really do this? And we come out and we put the lights on and we have a look, and in our mind's eye we imagine people who have come here to enjoy themselves, brought their children are laughing and playing out here, and they're going down to a pool, and there'll be a place where you can go and there'll be somebody to keep them safe. And we'll look out and we'll have a look what it looks like from the front, and we'll put all those damn lights on, and to hell with the electricity bill. And a lot of people will be shaking their heads now and saying, that man will never be a businessman. And you'll be right, I won't. But at the end of the day, I will have tried. And I think that that's the most important thing. And it may be, I'm 86 years old, it may be that I never see this completed. It may be that this will be the only part that is working because we're almost there. But it won't be because I sat in a wheelchair or a rocking chair or any kind of bloody chair and said, oh, I'm too old for this, like somebody wanted me to do. How could you even think of doing that on such a project at your age? Oh boy, I say to that person, you'll be a long time dead. And I'll let you go at that. Please, you are making a huge difference by sharing our videos now, and you need to subscribe and hit the bell if you are interested in seeing what we're doing, how we're fighting, how it could affect or even inspire you. Then keep up and share our videos. And if you know somebody that's an old fart of 70 or 71 and he thinks his life is ended, send him this and tell him, don't start sitting on your arse and getting old, do something. You never know, it might work. Bye for now.